And I'm back. How are you guys doing? It's your girl Janine with Symphony Reads. Join us on Facebook. I would love to see you guys on Facebook. Like our Facebook page. We are Symphony Reads Ministry. And you can find us on Facebook at Symphony Reads Ministry or at Symphony Reads. You can find us either way. And, look at our little community and see what we're about. And, we just try to do inspiration, motivation. Um, I, give a lot of pointers, examples from my own life, and just, I try to be very real with what's happening, and just to kind of get you caught up. I've pretty much just been through a lot, and I pretty much felt like I broke. I'm not even gonna say I felt like I broke into a million pieces, and I was thinking very negatively. A lot of things was going on. I wasn't being safe, and just in my thought patterns and things that I was doing, I was reverting and going. Instead of going forward, I was definitely going 1,000 steps back, and just trying to hold on to some sense of normalcy, trying to, get my mind right. And, I was just in this very, very dark place. And so, in fighting, trying to come out of the dark place and, get back healthy, healing, letting my mind heal, my body heal, and, getting um, growing closer to God, and just building up strength within myself. I wanted to stop thinking so negatively and stop being in this dark place. So I just looking on Amazon, um, I saw this book. It said A Year of Positive Thinking, Daily Inspiration, Wisdom, and Courage by Cindy Spiegel. Did not know who she was. Didn't know much about the calendar. But I figured positive thinking. We should all want to think positively. Um, and just to kind of see what it says and for the day. And, you know, sometimes, when we see something and then it sparks something else that happens. And, I just kind of share, my take. And I will say that from doing this, and we started in January, to now, and it's just February. So it's been not quite a month because I didn't start January 1st, but very close to a month. And I will just say that, I feel like I'm getting better, stronger, and, I'm not thinking in that dark, negative place as much. Learning things about myself. I'm learning things about my relationship with God, and I'm getting back to where I'm smiling. I'm being more of just who I am, the Janine people know me to be, who's a little quirky, and trying to be that rock. And I love motivating people. And so sometimes in my life, I feel like my motivation is don't do what you hear me talk about sometimes, because that's a sure indication you should not be doing it. I but if that helps you not to do something, then you know so be it. But so it's a journey. I'm just taking you along on the journey, and hoping that something blesses you, and I pray that it helps you. And I would love to hear more from you, too. So always join in. You can always comment, join in the conversation. Let me know where your thought pattern is going. And it's just about motivation. It's just about let's not always be in that dark negative space, and let's come out, and we can come out together. We can come out stronger. We can come out better. We can see things in a different light, because things are always going to, I mean, when I say always, things will come up. and they're not going to always be good things. But that doesn't mean that good things doesn't happen in the interim of these bad things. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just learn to smell the roses, the flowers, get a different perspective. Let's drown out some of that negative stuff and all that bad stuff, and let's replace it with some good things. And that's pretty much what this is about. So we're on February 6th, and it says appreciate the moment. And it reads, for every day that you wake, be unbelievably grateful because somewhere there is someone else who will not. For every moment that you concern yourself with the going ons of others, keep in mind that they too have problems. For every second that you doubt the authenticity of your loving relationships, consider that many people are alone. For each moment that you question your own worthiness, realize that you are the exact amount of enough. Appreciate the beauty in everything, knowing that one day it will no long it will be long gone. Wow. So appreciate the moment. You know, that's a mouthful. And I'm sorry, my cat is like wanting to be on my book. So yeah, I had to move it. I don't know. She's being very cuddly today. So I've learned that she knows when mommy isn't at 100% best. Mentally, physically, spiritually, and I've since I've had her, and we've had her since she was a baby. Her name is Winter. And when I'm not 100% there, I'm kind of maybe down a little bit more than I should be, or anything, she cuddles closer to me, um, because I think she just knows I need that love, that space in that time. So right now she knows mommy is just kind of going through a little bit more than normal. And even though I'm feeling better, excuse me, I dropped my pen. There we go. Even though I am feeling better, she knows today just was kind of one of those days. So anyway, getting back to, this is a mouthful because it kind of uh, it kind of tells it like, we should be grateful for everything that we have, which is, I agree with that. Because, as we should be grateful, there are so many more people that have problems. We all have problems. Let me just put that out there. You know what I'm saying? And I don't believe anyone's problems is any greater or more than another person's problem, because what you go through it's that's what you're going through, and that's a very real problem. And what I go through is what I go through, and that's a real problem for me. So yeah, it's easy for me to say, while I'm going through this, but because someone is going through this, that somehow what I'm going through is not valid. Does that make sense? And and yeah, there are people who is going through things that I could not imagine going through them, but at the same time, what's going on with me is very valid, and I want to make that very clear. We all go through things, and some things are very horrific, and I couldn't imagine going through the thing, but that doesn't make what you're going through any less valid for you, because that's what you're dealing with. That's your deal, your judge, what's happening with you. And so yeah, I mean, I try not to focus as much on what's going on with me, because I feel like sometimes, helping someone else, or, you know, um, just not focusing, that helps to kind of come out of me and, be helpful to someone else. And, just I see it as this: we all have issues and problems, and they all could be validated. You know what I'm saying? It's valid because that's what you're going through. And it's no less different, and it shouldn't be overshadowed because of something else, if that makes any sense at all. So, you know, we should be grateful. And yes, other people are going through problems too. So we're not alone in that. I will say that. We shouldn't feel like what we're going through, um, that we're the only ones going through that. We should rest assured that we're not alone in what we're going through. So we shouldn't feel like we have to isolate ourselves because of what we're going through. Um, and we should, I would say, like I've said before, and we can always focus in on the bad stuff. Happens all day and it can be bad, but there are some beautiful moments that happen in life that we should also be very grateful for, in those, in those pockets of moments. And we should, just know that those moments are there. And it kind of goes on, you know okay, like it says, it's just be grateful for where you are. I'm taking that from this, that we should be grateful for where we are. And because if I'm saying that I'm having issues in my relationship or whatever, well, there's people who don't have those relationships. And so I'm just taking it as they're saying, just be grateful, appreciate where you are, appreciate that there are people who love you in their life, and appreciate that there are people there to help you, and want to help you, and want to support you. And so we just should be very grateful for that. And that's at least how I'm taking it. And we always, I think, have we have to learn that we're worthy, that we don't we're worthy just the way we are. You know what I'm saying? Flaws and alls, we're worthy the way we are. God loves us just the way we are. Just he knows. And he deals with each of us individually for who we are and where we're at. You know what I'm saying? And um yeah, that's just kind of where I take that. And then we should. There's beauty in everything. There is beauty in everything. Like I said, we can make things so ugly sometimes, but there's just beauty. I love that we have flowers that grow. I love the fact that even though it can get very cold here or very hot here, that we can experience different climatal weather. If that makes, climates and the weather, we can definitely experience that. And because there's some places that they really don't get that, to experience those, because what's cold for them is like, that's not cold, that's still hot. um but they don't get to experiment, or not experience is what I'm saying, those moments. And so I appreciate the fact that we can, that we can appreciate and experience, you know different seasons, and it's just not one way all the time. That it is light, and then it's dark, and then it's light again. And it's beautiful to see, you know um, the birds, in the trees, and just to see the trees itself and the green grass, and sometimes we just gotta stop and smell the roses, stop and just take note of the beauty that's going on in life. And that's just where that at. So we need to appreciate these moments because they are just that moments. And like they can be filled with some negative things, but then the day can be filled with so many beautiful, great, positive things. And we should just appreciate where we are. And we could be in a learning phase, um, and we need to appreciate it. And people, I know it's hard to say, well, I'm not in a great place right now. How do you appreciate that? And I feel where you're coming from because I feel like I'm there. I'm not in the greatest place right now, but I appreciate because I'm learning to who I need to lean on, in these situations, and I'm learning to yield because I need to yield, and I'm learning, how to be positive, and just I'm rebuilding, and um, and because of the rebuilding, something new is going to come out of this, and whatever that is, and I don't even know what that is yet. So um that's just how I'm able to appreciate it. That doesn't mean because you know that things doesn't hurt, and you're not in those type places, change can hurt sometimes. Let's just change can hurt sometimes. But I'm in a phase because although where I was coming from was a very painful, very hurtful place, and not one that I wanted to deal with or go through. Um, but I just know coming out of it is something new, and it's going to be new and stronger than what it was before. And that's just my take on it. So that appreciate these moments because there's some beautiful moments in life, and we don't want to miss out on that. So appreciate it. And I hope that one was a blessing to you. And that was February 6th. And actually, let's just go on to February 7th. And it says, a broken heart and shining light. And it says, inevitably, your heart will break into a million pieces, possibly more than once, but you will be okay. You will experience loss, grief, heartache, and eventually solace. But first, allow yourself to feel the full scope of what you feel. You don't want to hide behind a hardened heart and a darkened soul forever. When you decide to surrender, you will let in the sunlight. And once you do, you will reflect that light back into your heart and then out into the world. I think that is beautiful because, again, part of the reason why we're even doing the positive thinking, motivation, courage, inspiration is because I was broken. And I mean, I was shattered in a million pieces. And there I was literally living in darkness, you know, and it just I felt like that dark cloud was happening, and it was over me. And I lost my smile. I lost the things I felt like were important to me. And it was just like this just dark cloud was just over me, and I wasn't praying. I wasn't reading my Bible. I was being lost, and I felt like I was just going deeper, deeper, deeper into this dark hole. And it was just sucking the life right out of me. And I felt like, yeah, I would wake up and I would go try to do things. And then it didn't help that on top of that, things was happening. Not so good things. Not having work, you know what I'm saying? Losing my car, now new thing, finding a new place to live in very short amount of time, stuff like that, and it's just like, I don't think I could take much more, but neither here nor there. I was just in this very place where, again, I suffered a loss. I was grieving. I have heartache. I have all of these things going on. But at the same time of all of that, you know, I don't want to stay in that dark place. I knew I couldn't stay in that dark place. I don't want to stay in that dark place. And so, yeah, we will be broken, but we can rebuild. And when we rebuild, we are going to be something new. He doesn't bring us, God doesn't uh, take the broken pieces and just say, okay, I'm going to glue you back together and you're just going to be who you always were. I believe when he takes the broken pieces and you coming back together, you're going to be new. You're going to be stronger than you were the first time when you broke. A new creature, a new thing is happening in you. And I just believe that he does that for all of us. And, you know, life is going to bring its share of heartache, its share of pain. And when we break like that, we feel like we're never going to be the same, or we feel like we're not going to recoup or recover from what is happening. I was in a relationship, we can have the mentality. I was in this relationship for so long, and now I'm not in that relationship. It hurt, it broke my heart. You know, um, I'm not going to recover. I'm not going to find another relationship. We think that way, and I say when we're in these places, recognize what it is. If you're hurt, you're hurt. And it's okay to be hurt. Um, but you can recover is the thing. And each person's recovery and healing is different in a space and time. And you have to allow yourself the grief of what's happening and then the healing of what's and know you will heal from whatever it is you're going through. You're gonna heal. You can heal. It's not that you won't heal. you know um and I just believe that once you heal and you come back together, you're going to be stronger than what you were before. You're not going to be the same. You're going to be different. And that doesn't mean a bad thing. Being different can be a very good positive thing. And I believe when God gets involved and he's healing you and he's going to make you new. Your relationship with him, if your relationship was severed with God and you come back into the fold, and that relationship won't be the same. It's going to be stronger. It's going to be stronger than what it was before, if that makes any sense at all. And and we don't want to stay in those dark places. I don't want my heart to stay hard, and I don't want to stay in that locked closet, or build that wall that just is unpenetrable, and that I don't understand that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And there are days where I don't see the light, but I know it will come, and I know it's there. When we do things in it's dark times, like it's dark outside now, but don't you know it won't be dark always, that there is light that is coming. And so we have to remind ourselves of that. you know this is a dark time right now. If that's where you at in a dark time right now, or your heart is broken because someone broke your heart, or you lost a friendship, whatever those those things are, you know, uh, we can heal from those things. And each day is just a new day, a new discovery of those things. But you know, we don't have to stay in those dark places. And I feel like when you've gone through something like that and as you're healing, understand that when you tell that testimony, when you give that, it helps somebody else. It's going to help somebody else through their dark time in that dark space. So, yeah, at some point in our lives, we do get hurt. You know what I'm saying? We go through some things that nobody wants to go through hard times. Nobody wants to just feel like crap. Nobody wants to do that. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a good thing. It doesn't feel great. It doesn't. But we have to have the mind and we have to put in the work to get out that mindset that we're not going to hit, that we're not built for this. You know, that there's no light at the end of the tunnel, because there is light at the end of the tunnel. And there's light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know how else to say it. There is light at the end of the tunnel. There is a silver lining in the clouds. However you want to think of it, it's, there. Um, and that's just my two pieces on that. I was just trying to make sure I kind of covered. Yep, that's my two pieces on that. So I hope that was a blessing to you. That it did bless my soul. It really did. It blessed my heart. Um, because you can recover, and that's just where I'm gonna lay that. You can recover, and will it happen overnight? Not necessarily, but it will happen. So be blessed, and I'll see you again. Peace and blessings.